We often talk about getting away from it all, but going to a resort can end up with you feeling more exhausted than before.
You actually feel under pressure to make the most of the time that's available, which isn't really relaxing.
Jailoshini went off in search of a truly tranquil alternative, and this is what she found at the Buddhist Retreat Centre.
Alan Payton celebrated the beauty of these rolling Midland hills in the opening lines of Cry the Beloved Country, and Jailoshini's heart was singing as she neared her destination.
The Buddhist Retreat Centre is situated about 2 hours away from Durban in Ixopo, amongst the scenic gorges and valleys of KwaZulu-Natal. This is where you want to go to if you feel like getting away from it all. The centre has fast become a favourite amongst local and international travellers. And this is the place to be if you just feel like unwinding, reflecting, reconnecting with yourself, being at one with nature and just breathing the fresh, beautiful air.
The same view that held Jailoshini's gaze has also enthralled a travel writer for Paris Vogue, who wrote lyrically about the blue valley that the centre looks over. Guests may not expect to find rooms that are simple yet elegant rather than Spartan, but this would be only the first of many delightful surprises. Pathways and tracks lead you across a sprawling property that has made no attempt to tame its natural surroundings, but provides a refuge for protected species. The key word is harmony, and while guests are not expected to seek enlightenment, they are welcome to join the daily meditation sessions. Afterwards, Jailoshini chatted to the founder, Louis Van Loon.
Louis, thank you for inviting us over.
You're welcome.
Now, I'm really intrigued and I'm fascinated with the retreat centre. How did it all start? Where did the motivation come from?
It was actually when I travelled in India quite a lot, where I got very ill. And to recover, I went to Sri Lanka. And there, in that little hotel where I stayed, that was surrounded by tea estates, with hills disappearing in the blue distance. I was inspired to start a retreat centre in this country.
I believe that Buddhism was relatively unknown in South Africa all those years ago, and you were quite instrumental in introducing it here in the country.
It wasn't even taught at universities. So when I was invited to teach it there, it was the first time, but it became very, very popular with the students. Because although it looks like a religion, it isn't really. It is a philosophy, an attitude.
This place has become hugely popular, not only to South Africans and local visitors, but internationally as well. What would you attribute the success to?
Well, I think because we have introduced a kind of a Buddhism that is not necessarily a copy of Eastern-style Buddhism, but is very close to the Buddhist teachings, nevertheless, but adapted to Western mindsets. So it is not a foreign thing, in fact, to the average Westerner mind.
Now, when I entered, the first thing that struck me was that huge statue out there at the entrance. And I believe you built that with those hands.
Well, it really started very early when I had plans for this whole center. And I built that pedestal on which the Buddha sits. And this monk came here and he said, I know what this pedestal is for. It will have a big Buddha statue, probably the biggest in the Western world. So I said, yes, one day. He said, what are you waiting for? It was built out of concrete. There's a metal frame inside in which I put all sorts of things to just fill it up. It was surrounded by chicken mesh, in fact, on which I then plastered the outline of the Buddha. I built a small model of it, which now sits in the Zen garden.
And I'm told that visitors really come here expecting these delicious lunches and dinners, and the place has quite a reputation for that.
The story about the vegetarian kitchen started because I introduced vegetarianism as well in this country. It was unknown. I introduced it here because I felt this ought to be a great example of good vegetarian cooking. And this has resulted in 2 recipe books.
Tell us about that.
Cake the Buddha Ate and Quiet Food, which have become bestsellers in this country. You know, they tell me that this is unknown for a recipe book that originated in South Africa. They have sold something close to 20,000 copies.
Okay, so we're off to the vegetable garden.
It's the garden.
This is it.
This is all fresh, organic.
Okay, so I got the bowl.
You got the bowl, I've got the veg. Fresher than that you're not going to get, and you'll taste the difference when you're eating it.
I can't wait. Looks so fresh and the color is so lovely.
We add some more color to our veg. Salads as well.
Everything that's cooked here at the retreat is ovo-lacto-vegetarian. You can see it's fresh, it's yummy, and it promises to be delicious. So I can't wait for lunch.
Jailoshini still had to learn a little patience, but the sights and smells of the garden had made it difficult to reject the cravings of her appetite.
Yeah, enjoy.
Thank you. As you can see, I'm already tucking in fresh, delicious vegetables, homemade bread. I'm enjoying every mouthful, and I've been told already that visitors here at the retreat come back again and again looking forward to this fabulous food.
After lunch, Jailoshini found just the spot to contemplate the noble Eightfold Path.
Well, I'm just taking some time out here at the Zen garden with my warm cup of tea and my book. And I can literally hear the stillness.
Inspired by the famous Japanese rock gardens, this landscape in miniature is intended to evoke the essence of nature rather than its actual appearance. The gravel is carefully raked to imitate ripples in water or waves in the sea.
I'm about to enter the labyrinth, which is a sort of walking meditation. Often, because of the challenges of our day-to-day lives, we tend to overthink our problems and stress ourselves out trying to find solutions. Here, when you enter the labyrinth, you just clear your mind of every thought and follow the path. Let it lead you to wherever it is going without any thinking. By the time you reach the center of the labyrinth, things kind of just fall into place. Either the solutions to your problems, or you just create a space within you for the universal wisdom to take over. I've had the most amazing day here at the Buddhist Retreat Centre. So much to do: meditation, the Zen garden, the labyrinth, a fresh, delicious lunch. And most of all, I've had the time to reflect and reconnect and truly enjoy the stillness. It's been a most memorable experience, and I certainly will be back.